Tesla is a raging beast in the struggling car market. With sales continuing to soar, Tesla's profits are starting to materialize. Elon plans to increase sales 50% every single year for the foreseeable future. Time will tell if they can succeed with that incredible projected growth as the world is plunging straight into an economic recession. Despite the uncertainty of the future, Tesla is here to stay and will continue to grow massively until there's enough volume of EVs produced from the competition to satisfy the needs of the market and the demands of global governments. One of Tesla's most shocking successes is their out-of-nowhere domination of the luxury car market here in the United States. Tesla is leaving BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, and Audi in the dust in the first 3 quarters of 2022. Does the luxury market have a new undisputed king, or should Tesla even be considered a luxury brand? Today, I'll make the case for Tesla as a #1 luxury brand in America. I'll also make the case that the EV automaker falls short of the luxury category. Hey guys, welcome back. If you're excited for this video to discuss if Tesla is a luxury brand, hit the like button, subscribe for more industry news and updates. I was inspired to make this video because I agree in some ways with this article and I disagree with this article in some ways over automotive news. So I take some of those points and I argue for Tesla. I actually add up to a lot of those points that Mr. Jamie Butters makes. And I took to social media here to ask you guys, do you think if Tesla is an auto brand worthy of luxury? 86% of you said no, they are not luxury quality. 14% of you said yes, they're kicking ass. And they are kicking ass for sure. It's just whether you consider them a luxury brand or not. So what is a luxury brand? And this is not set in stone. It is a moving goalpost, and so that's why Tesla can make a very strong claim here. A luxury car is a car that provides increased levels of comfort, equipment, amenities, quality, performance, and associated status compared to moderately priced cars. There's no doubt Tesla especially excels at performance and status, right? The term is subjective and reflects both the qualities of the car and the brand image of its manufacturer. Luxury brands rank above premium brands, though there is no fixed demarcation between the two. So for example, like Acura is a premium sports performance brand. They're not really considered luxury by their own parent company, Honda, but they're definitely a step up above in terms of luxury in just about every way over Honda, right? And if you look at Volvo, Volvo doesn't have a lesser brand. It's just Volvo. So Volvo is luxury brand prices, but sometimes they're more like a premium brand because they have like wool seats as an option, but they kind of do their own thing. And I would consider them luxury just as much as any other brand at this point. Another way to tell if a vehicle is luxury is to consider what luxury is in Europe. So luxury sedans, the large saloons, or what we call full-size luxury sedans, are the BMW 8 Series, the 7 Series, this S-Class, the Audi A8. Those are the best in the segment, including the Porsche Panamera. Less than 1,000 for the UK, that is. Probably, I mean, the United States doesn't sell that much more LSs in Europe, and the sedans are not well selling here compared to Europe. Anyways, the LS, of course, is in this category, and Maserati, as well as, you know, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, etc. No Tesla in this segment, but you could say, yeah, Tesla doesn't exist in this segment because they just don't have a vehicle large enough. Touche. So let's begin. Why is Tesla considered a luxury brand? All right. So let's start with performance. There's no doubt electric cars in general have massive amounts of acceleration. And if we go over to Tesla's design page, which tesla.com, we're going to be here a lot today. Model Y performance, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. That is blistering quick. I was rattling off 0 to 60s in the GV60 from Genesis in like 4 seconds. That thing was super fast, and it can be done under 4 seconds. And that is what's considered more traditional luxury compared to Tesla. So they have the performance of luxury brands. They have smooth propulsion. This is something that's always been a part of a luxury automaker. Buzzy engines really sap any sort of luxury from a vehicle. If you look at Rolls-Royce, Bentley, it's like they're completely almost removed from the engine, even though they have these huge displacement engines that run like butter smooth, whisper quiet. And that's why traditionally, before somewhat recently with emissions crackdowns, V8s were the gold standard for smoothness and just overall torque and power. Now that's being replaced by electric motors, which is even more quiet, more smooth, and potentially more powerful depending how big of a motor you want to put in it. Also, something that's not considered luxury, but definitely goes into a feather in Tesla's cap is range. They're up there with the best in the range. No one, I don't know if there's that many automakers out there that can say are they're more efficient when it comes to kilowatts per mile. Having that exclusivity almost to every single vehicle, being that they're very, very efficient. I know you can argue against it because they don't put a lot of like sound deadening materials, etc. in there. And that's the case for later on in the video. Aspiration, brand image. This is massive for a luxury brand. You want to be proud of the logo that is on the vehicle. And there's no doubt Tesla owners are proud of the vehicle they own. Even though sometimes they might not like the vehicle that much, they're still proud. They still like that attention that Tesla vehicle and brand image and that brand logo gets them. So they are definitely high on the aspiration ladder for like kids, because kids and technology, like it's a huge aspiration piece for little children. One day they want to grow up own a Tesla, but even young professionals. Hey, I want my first luxury car, or hey, I got 60, 70K to blow on a car. What do I get? Do I get a Benz? Do I get a BMW? Get a Lexus? Do I get a Tesla? So up there with aspiration, absolutely. Another thing that is becoming synonymous with luxury is technology. And Tesla is arguably the best when it comes to technology. Massive touchscreen. And they've set this trend throughout the industry. All the automakers are trying to replicate in some way. Hey, how can I make my user interface better to kind of mimic the cell phone? So they got that down. They also have incredible safety, not only built into the structure of the car throughout the battery pack, they also have the front full self-driving and the autopilot. Now they have their issues and they're not perfect, but it's hard to argue that they're not better than just about everyone else out there, or at least as good as the next best person. Something that luxury brands also like to do is have multiple avenues to spread their brand. So let's take Lexus, for example. Lexus has like the Lexus Intersect in different major cities around the world. It's like a culinary and art center with like just a Lexus vehicle on display, and they have like their own chefs and stuff. So Tesla doesn't necessarily do that with creating like a luxury theme around their brand, but they expand their brand into other things. Like they want to do the robo taxi. They want to do the Optimus Terminator sort of robot thing. And they also want to do the semi truck. That expansion of the brand into different markets is a part of, I guess, the luxury mentality. Now, you also have customer experience. So there's no denying that being an honest company up front, well, in theory, up front, hey, here's my product. You can buy it for, let's just go back to the webpage. Here's my product. You can buy it for X amount of dollars. It arrives on your doorstep. You don't have to leave your house. Here's the financing. You can do it all online, transparently, super easy, super to the point. And I could argue that's a luxurious experience. Now, would it be better if they had a high-end showroom floor with a professional to help them through the buying process, as well as just a luxurious atmosphere around the vehicle, maybe like a coffee bar or barista, or maybe a little cafe? Of course, that would be a more luxurious experience, but Tesla is still doing something very luxurious with their upfront pricing delivered to your door, as well as the service they provide if your vehicle needs to be worked on. Hey, you can either take it to a service center, aka a dealership sort of thing, or you can have that little Tesla vehicle come to your driveway and fix the vehicle in your driveway. That's a pretty good luxury experience. Also, something that sets them way above the rest, no comparison amongst any brand, even luxury brands, is their supercharger network. Tesla, this is probably their greatest attribute, in my opinion. You don't have to worry that much if you're traveling across the country or even in Europe. It's kind of built out there as well, maybe even more so than here in the United States in some parts. Supercharger network, huge luxury for the brand, huge advantage over other luxury EVs. One of the biggest things that Mr. Jamie Butters here claims that Tesla is a luxury brand just because of price alone. And if we go back to the Model Y here, their best-selling model, yes, you can do the potential savings. That's just kind of gimmicky to me. We're going to look at purchase price. This is what matters. $70K for Model Y Performance, or about $66K for the standard dual motor, or I should say the Model Y long range dual motor. So yeah, those are definitely luxury prices. Hardly any. Let's see what their cheapest model is. So if we go to Tesla here, Model 3, 40K, but that's potential savings. So 47K is their entry level vehicle. Now there's no entry level starting point for a luxury brand. If you look at, let's say BMW or Mercedes, it depends on what part of the world. They could start in the low 30s, mid 30s. But that doesn't mean those vehicles are exactly luxury at the entry point either. Only one model looks like under $50,000. Those are luxury prices. And I'll argue against luxury prices later on, so don't worry. The thing I'm going to argue for Tesla here is that luxury brands typically have better warranties, manufacturer warranties, than lesser competition or mainstream models. So the standard in the industry for mainstream models like 3 years or 36,000 miles, that's comprehensive. And then powertrain is usually like 4 years or 50 or something like that. So if we look at the Tesla warranty here, if we look at the Model 3, they're bumper to bumper, 4 years, 50. That's pretty much on par with the other luxury automakers. And you have an 8-year, 100,000 mile powertrain. That's up there with the best of them. Now, if you look at like Hyundai, for example, they have a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty. If you look at the Model X and Model Y, they essentially have unlimited miles, especially the Model X has an unlimited mile powertrain warranty, but limited to 8 years. So that finishes my pro for Tesla as a luxury brand. And if you guys know me on the channel, I don't really consider them a luxury brand, but making this video helps me see through the lenses of those who do. So I can see it both ways now a little bit better than before making this video. So now we're going to get into some of the arguments against Tesla as a luxury brand, and they're pretty big. So let's talk about number one. This is the number one thing that kind of, in my opinion, already takes Tesla down to the non-luxury level, and it comes out of Elon's goal. I'll go ahead and play that video for you where he is addressing the audience in Austin, Texas during Cyber Rodeo.
Exceeded the million, in trailing 12 months, we've delivered over 1 million cars worldwide. Now that said, there's still a long way to go because that red bar chart is Tesla. So we can definitely, and then the blue is global vehicles. So you can see even though we did 1 million cars in the last 12 months, we're still like maybe a little over 1% of total vehicle output in the world. And we want to try to get to, I don't know, 20%, as much as we can to move the needle.
Anytime you are comparing yourself to the mass market, that to me says you're a mass market brand. He's not talking about saturating the luxury market. He's talking about saturating the mass market. Now, could a luxury brand saturate the mass market? I guess so, but that's not the aspirations of any luxury brand. They just want to duke it out and be relevant within other luxury automakers. So the fact that Elon's not comparing himself and his brand to other luxury automakers kind of tells me that the brand is not trying to be a luxury automaker, and they one day want to have a $25,000 car. Now, it's not on the forefront of Elon's attack right now because a vehicle like that is not profitable. That's why there's no vehicle on the market, battery electric vehicle on the market, maybe the Nissan Leaf, right? Around $25,000. Is it that profitable? No. So like that's why Elon would rather sell $60,000, $70,000 Model Ys and have more icing on the cake or cream on the top. You know what I mean. So that's number one. Number two, build quality. And I'm not going to go through all the thousands and thousands of cases of why build quality suffers with Tesla. This is over at Reddit. Okay, I'm going to play it from the beginning so you guys can hear. That is unacceptable. Not only in a luxury car, it's unacceptable in any car. And Tesla claims this noise is normal for operation for a $100,000 plus car, not a 100,000 mile car, $100,000 plus car. So that's a Model S there. So scrolling down in the comments here, Pencil Tucky here owns a Bolt and a Model 3. He says his $26,000 Chevy Bolt, which is mostly just hard touch plastic and gives him flashbacks to the Cavalier days of cracked plastic dashboards, is dead quiet compared to his Model 3. It's just dead quiet, period. It's really just disappointing. I test drove a brand new Model S and it had the same creaks and rattles. as my Model 3. With all the great options coming to the market, Tesla is no longer the standout it once was, but they'll keep getting away with it as long as people keep buying. And then Lunar Flare down below says, well, they just lost a customer. Unless they fix this in my next appointment, I'm returning the car. Maybe a few years ago, I'd have kept it. The transition to EV was great, and I don't want ICE ever again. But now I can get EVs from so many other brands. I don't want to risk problems like this again, especially with this kind of customer support. So the build quality is not there. The customer support is failing. And a part of that is the brand is growing so much and they have a lack of quality to control with their vehicles. They just can't put out all the fires, not like literal fires, but like the concerns going on with the customers who have just dropped $60,000, $70,000 on their new Tesla. And another thing, I've ridden in Teslas and the ride quality is harsh. It's very stiff. And unless you live on perfect roads, you're going to feel a lot of the harshness come through in the suspension and the body. And you know, electric vehicles need to be a little bit harder because they weigh so much. So I get it. But the NVH overall that we just talked about, customers complaining of cracks, rattles, creaks, things like that. But what happens in a Tesla is they have the glass roof, which is you could say is a part of the luxury end of it. But the glass roof and the low quality materials in the interior is a echo box. It is so loud inside of a Tesla. And I've had, when I was working for Lexus, we would get Teslas in on trade and they were like, it's just too loud. I don't enjoy driving long trips in this vehicle. So even though they have that supercharger network to take you on long trips, you're going to have to deal with high road noise, high wind noise, maybe creaks, rattles, things along the way. And that's not a luxury experience, in my opinion. Customization is synonymous with luxury. I want it my way. I want it tailored to my needs and my wants. Go to Tesla, the Model 3. Well, you get 2 variants, okay? And out of those 2, let's just do a base model here. Well, you get 5 paint colors. And if you want red, it's going to cost you $2,000 if you want red. Well, and you got the choice between the 18-inch wheels or the 19-inch wheels, but the 19-inch wheels cost you. And then let's get the light interior. Oh, it's not even that light, but that's okay. That's okay. But you only 2 interior choices. I just covered the Lexus ES refresh yesterday, and there's probably 5 different interior choices, whether you get F Sport's 2 or 3. But if you get the normal one, I think there's 4 different interior choices. So if you combine them, there's about 6 total. And then you have your choice if you want the autopilot, but that's not like customization necessarily. That's just like, hey, I want additional safety features, which they're setting the trend here. There's no doubt other automakers are going to start charging for their high-end driving experiences or autopilot experiences. So good on Tesla for that. But yeah, that's about it in terms of customization. You can add a wall connector, but hey, where are the floor mats? Where are all the extra little things that you can add, like cargo nets and stuff? I don't see anything like that. Even just the small accessories aren't here on the web page. And in fact, it looks like they don't even want you to make a custom one because they say, hey, if you want it faster, view available inventory. So yeah, here's all their cookie cutter cars that are available right here, right now. And it's, yeah, so much for customization and luxury experience and individuality at that point. There's not much individuality going on with Tesla. It's kind of like that iPhone effect, that Apple effect. The brand is just so strong. That brand recognition is so strong. People just want the brand and they don't really necessarily need to have that customization. Now, there are a lot of aftermarket things, but you can say that for every single brand. But from the factory, Tesla probably has the least amount of options compared to any other quote unquote luxury automaker. And let's talk about the last thing, which is price. Just because a vehicle is expensive doesn't mean it's luxury. And EVs are kind of their own like sub-brand or subcategory, I mean, at this point in time. EVs to me are like property in New York. It's going to be expensive no matter what property you have, whether it's a condo, a house, at the corner of a business park. EVs are inherently expensive, just like property in New York is expensive. Does that mean that property in New York is more luxurious and nice than somewhere, let's say, in Arkansas? Absolutely not. Just because it costs more than that property in Arkansas doesn't mean it's a nicer a more luxurious interior or a more quiet living or a more friendly experience with the people around you. Hopefully you're catching my drift with that comparison. The category of EVs are almost their own. And that's why I'm going to end this video saying at this point in time in 2022, EVs are very expensive compared to gasoline cars or even hybrid cars. But there's no denying that EVs inherently have luxury qualities. They have typically a more quiet operation. They have a very smooth operation. They have immense amounts of torque on tap and power. I don't consider Tesla luxury, but now more than ever, I can see why people consider them luxury. Do I consider them the crown of the luxury segment? No, I don't. Is the Model X and Model S, do they have a stronger claim to luxury than the Model Y and Model 3? Absolutely. But you can still make arguments against those vehicles as luxury. I almost put Tesla in their own category, which is a mass market EV brand. And in the future, they're just going to be a mass market brand because most of everything will be EVs at that point. And so Tesla, whether you consider them luxury or not, has brought an awareness to EVs, a desire for EVs that never existed before it. They also brought mass performance, incredible amounts of performance that you typically get in cars that cost several $100,000. They brought it down to more of the middle class, upper middle class in a lot of cases, but you can still get incredible performance that beats just about any other car in the street for more attainable prices. They also have some of the best autonomous driving software out there. They have some of the best safety, and they have some of the best software and screen implementation compared to anyone else. So Tesla is a trendsetter. They are a market leader in a lot of ways. Don't really consider them luxury, but also you guys battle it out down below. I had a lot of fun. This video took me a lot of days. I'm like, do I want to make it? Can I honestly see both sides? And yes, I can now, and I'm going to end it there. No, I don't consider them luxury, but like I said, I will not disagree with you if you say that they are necessarily. As long as you see my end of it as well, we can agree to disagree. Have a great day, guys. If you enjoyed the video, haven't hit the like button, I appreciate that. And subscribe for more auto industry news like this one. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves and peace.